So what is this? Stroganoff. It's a fucking meat cocktail with onions and mushrooms. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Yes, Boris. So what will you need for this? The same pot that Vadim neighbor asshole finally cleaned, and then you borrowed again for making pelmenta at one time, you remember? Add some water inside and go raid babushka's fields for some good quality potatoes. Now you're thinking, shit, that was easy. Stroganoff is served. But no, my friends, it's only beginning. Put the potatoes to boil and prepare to create your stroganoff for one. Okay, so the thing about this recipe is that everyone thinks theirs is correct. The classic, most basic recipe is the onions, thin slices of beef and sour cream. And that is it. But if you like to do it Boris style, and of course you do, you will need some more components. Okay, so to start off you need some high quality beef. This part very important, you do not want to be chewing on strips of fat. Even though it is called beef stroganoff, you can still use pork if you want. Maybe you do not like the taste of beef, maybe your access to cows is low, who knows. Once that is all done, throw it aside for now. And get ready your secondary knife skills. Блять. Okay, stroganoff is about making components very small. This way there is more taste in the sauce and you do not find yourself chewing on half an onion. Small pieces of onion, small pieces of garlic. The beef strips are also relatively small. And since you are making stroganoff for one, don't be afraid to put in some extra garlic. Now this next part is used for taste. If you find some mushrooms in your home, throw them inside, but not the ones growing behind your fridge. If it is mushroom season, you go to forest and you pick some up, you lazy fuck. Or you just buy some champignons from shop. Happily this is one of those times that your laziness will actually help you out. Instead of slicing this into small pieces, you just cut them into quarters and that is all. And finally we can move on to cooking. So you remember those potatoes you set to boil? Depending on how fast is your cutting skills, which obviously reflects your knife skills of CSGO, these golden nuggets of power should be either very raw yet, or completely done if you're silver. For extracting best taste of your components, you of course fry it with butter. Do not be afraid that you put in too much. The extra energy that you consume, you will use for cleaning that kitchen later. Shit, cooking for one, best of fun. We continue with the beef. The main ingredient along with the onion of course, giving you the power to keep up the cheeky bricky. Okay, when frying the beef, you have to pay attention that they do not cover each other. In this case, they get fried, not boiled. You do not want boiled meat. And if you happen to be idiot like me and put too much butter in here, then go drain it and use it for making cutlet later. Shit, блин, I need to get a bigger pan. Cooking for one might be fun and everything, but the amounts, man, are so big to feed a whole village. After flipping the strips of beef, you of course check back on your knife skills and realize that you should be globally elite by now. That slicing was so fast. These potatoes need another 10 minutes to boil. Season the beef with a half ton of salt and pepper, because that is all the seasoning that you will be doing. Okay, except for some bay leaf, but we get to that later. Okay, because you are cheap bastard and you only have one pan like I, then you take out beef and add mushroom instead. Okay, so unless you are allergic to laziness, or you just like the view of fresh butter, you can just add next components onto the pan without washing it. Oh yes, in lower temperature you don't want to set fire to your mushrooms. Pay attention that frying mushrooms with butter is much better. Not only do you get better taste, but also you let your neighbors know that your cooking is best and their cooking is shit! Ha! Suck it, Vadim, no mushrooms for you! Getting back to cooking, after shocking your mushrooms with some heat until they shrink down to half size, it is about the right time to add garlic and the onion. So people will keep asking me, Boris, how much do you put this? How much do you put that? Блин, I have no idea. When I cook, I just throw stuff inside, and just by coincidence, it tastes fucking great. You see these caramelized onions? So soft and tender. The smell, the taste, even the sight of these onions. It brings tear to eye of cooking perfection. It reminds you of your babushka's cooking and all those cold winter nights when she made your favorite stroganoff. This white stuff is flour, by the way. Okay, so you mix the din as well and let it cook for a bit. This will give flour actual taste and you do not feel like chewing an old mattress. Once your cooking looks like an equally brown pile of beans, it is time to reintroduce the beef. Right now I'm wondering if people are abandoning this recipe just because there is more steps to this, then there is steps to go to shop and buy some vodka. But for the ones who stayed, here is surprise for you. For this mix, some people use red wine, white wine, some people use whiskey. I just use a nice cold glass of Russian vodka. Do not worry getting drunk on this food unless you plan to use the whole bottle. So if you have top slicing speed like me, then this is about the time that your potatoes will be finally ready. Some recipes say that stroganoff has to be served over rice or maybe some macaron, but if you want taste of Boris' memories, then of course you go for potato instead. This will leave your beef with just enough time to get more acquainted with its new best friends, garlic, onion and mushrooms. And to mix those flavors even better, you add in my favorite part, the sour cream. And since the channel is called Life of Boris, of course you add the mayonnaise. Mix until this beef cocktail achieves overall color of light brown. And for definitely, for last part, do not forget the bay leaf. And some more sour cream, because why not? Once this is all mixed and ready, you lower temperature and you just let it sit for good 10 minutes at least. This will result in a compote of flavors that you have never experienced before. And once you are ready, once you think you're ready for taste experience of your life, you introduce the stroganoff to your potatoes and fight the urge to eat it right off the pan. You call for the green onion to fall from heavens and add some pickle on side to perfect the dish and perfect the taste. Enjoy it with the side of a huge glass of a huge kvass. Well, my friends, I hope you are able to follow this recipe. I can tell you, yes, it is not easy to make, but for something this tasty, it is always worth it. Now go make it yourself and enjoy. I will see you next time, my friends. Stay cheeky breaky.